Yeah, sun-soaked Florida now just soaked, really, right? There's our storm specialist right there, Mike Seidel. He is in Jacksonville Beach this morning. Mike, all week you were in Clearwater Beach, feeling what was going on out there. Different story where you are right now. Kind of describe what's happening.
Not much right now. Just a gorgeous sunrise through the fog, and now that's kind of burning off. Temperature is pretty comfortable this morning, low and mid-70s, so it doesn't feel as uncomfortable as it did yesterday morning at Clearwater Beach. Of course, we did have that squall around 6:30, and then it was just a hot, muggy day as the sun came back out mid to late morning. And they had more rain. In fact, right now there's some rain over on the west coast of Florida and down south, but this part of the state, northern Florida, the Panhandle, dry at this point. First thing I want to show you, and I know we just saw this, but let's go back to it again. Stephen McLeod at the controls back there in New York City, the IR loop, and you can see those storms really bubbling up off the coast. Again, we're expecting a tropical depression to form, at least right now, a 60% chance in the next 7 days, 40% in the next couple of days. Though that's likely in the next 7 days. And whether it develops or not, the impacts don't change a whole lot because we're not expecting much in the way of intensity. So the main impact from this will be rain and thunderstorms impacting your beach weather, primarily on the Carolina beaches, and primarily starting tomorrow night into Sunday. And right now, the forecast model shows that the circulation does come on shore sometime on Sunday in South Carolina, with the bulk of the rain being north of where that circulation comes in. There are no flash flood or flood watches up right now. Right now, the Weather Service out of Charleston and Wilmington thinking they may not even have to issue those because it is going to be spotty. We'll see how that all turns out. Let's take a look down the beach. Why not? It's July 4th. Happy birthday, America, number 249. And we've got folks, as you can see, we're looking now off to the south down Jack's Beach here in northeastern Florida. You can see folks walking into the murk, what's left of the fog this morning. It was just some ground fog, basically. It didn't extend very high. Got some dogs out here that were barking up a storm. I think they've settled their differences now, and the dogs right now are just kind of chilling out here at the surf as folks get their early morning walk in. So that's the stage set right now here on Jacksonville Beach. Britta and Craig just waiting and watching, not expecting any rain in this area today. Better chance of storms getting into the weekend as they wrap around from the backside of that circulation. But things are looking pretty good today on the beaches of the Carolinas and here in northern Florida. That doesn't say the rain chances are zero, but the real impact from this system will come tomorrow into Sunday. And then the question is, does it just go inland and just fizzle out, or does it kind of shoot up the coast as a broad area of low pressure, or just basically a big blob of rainfall as we get into Sunday night and Monday?
But even a big blob of rainfall can be a concern, especially when you think about low country, how much rain can stack up. A lot of questions still yet to answer, but we know you're here for it, Mike. We appreciate your specialty look at the situation. There is Mike Seidel in Jacksonville, Florida this morning. We'll check in with you soon.
Is Fox Weather Storm Specialist Mike Seidel. He joins us live this morning from Jacksonville Beach. I know it's calm right now, my friend, but we watch closely, especially as we go into maybe Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, as things could change here.
Well, things here will change. They'll have a better chance of storms over the weekend. Not so much today. Right now, we're just saying partly cloudy and highs away from the beach around 90. Right now, in the low 70s, it actually feels pretty comfortable after all the heat and humidity we had over at Clearwater Beach. Not that it isn't humid here, but 72 or 3 is a bit different than coming out here in the morning at 82 or 83. Surf, 2 to 3 footers, not a big deal. This has no impact on the surf here. Whatever forms is going to have more of an impact on the Carolinas, and that probably will be later tomorrow night into Sunday, and then it goes away, whether it goes up the coast or inland and falls apart. There will be that slug of rain, as they have mentioned back in the studio, Britta and Craig, along and primarily north of where whatever has developed or doesn't develop comes on shore. That's the big question. 60% chance of something developing subtropical or not, or tropical over the next 48 hours and 7 days. And we'll see if the National Hurricane Center puts out potential tropical cyclone and advisory for PTC. That'd be number 2 or number 3? Number 3, I believe, because we had Yeah, I think it's number 3. We'll check on that. And then they'll put out the watches, if there are any watches. So we'll see what happens here in the next few hours. But here at the beach today, it's going to be mostly sunny. We had sunshine earlier, and now the fog has come back in right over the beach. I suspect not far inland, it is nice and sunny, and it's going to be warming up. So that's the stance here at Jacksonville Beach. We're going to be heading north towards the Carolinas to give you the latest and the live coverage over the weekend to show you the impacts. But right now, you got to think, guys, that the number one impact will be locally heavy rainfall, not so much wind or surge. I'm not even concerned about that.
Yeah, I mean, these messy systems, that they always lead to heavy rain. The question is how much is offshore and how much is onshore.
Yeah.
But, one of those wait and see moments, Mike, but as a lot of people are waking up to it being an invest, that kind of is that first indication of people raising their eyebrows, right?
Yeah, no kidding. And going over this with Stephen
Right,
McLeod
and
behind the scenes, he said PTC number 3 is what we'd be looking at, Mike. You were right.
Right. Okay, well, I was right for once. And the advantage of making it an invest is the Hurricane Center can run their tropical models.
Yes,
exactly.
So we have additional tracking model information for potentially PTC3. But the thinking right now is it's probably going to go inland tomorrow night or Sunday. And then along and north of that, is that going to be north of Charleston, north of Myrtle Beach? Somebody's going to get a slug of rain and maybe some wind gust, certainly wind gust in some of those squalls. 30, 35, maybe a 40-mile-an-hour wind gust. Remember, sustained winds have to be clocked 39 miles an hour to get tropical storm force winds. And right now, the Hurricane Center does not think it's going to strengthen that much. We just don't have the necessary ingredients. We have the warm water, but that's about it. Although thunderstorms this morning, well, you look at that infrared satellite photo and the visible we've been showing through the morning, and it looks pretty darn impressive.
Yeah,
I mean,
it
if you roll
does.
out of bed or under a rock for the past several days and you looked at that one, whoa, what do we got going out there? But again, you have to have a closed isobar for a depression. So we'll see what the Hurricane Center finds out as they get out there. I guess it'll be about mid-afternoon Eastern time.
Yeah, this flight out of Biloxi is going to be one worth watching for sure. But always a good reminder, it's all about impacts. And as you said, Mike, it's all about the heavy rain.
Yeah.
We appreciate your insight, my friend. Enjoy the quiet morning in Jacksonville. We'll check in with you soon, especially as we get closer to getting this fresh data from the Hurricane Center this afternoon.
Well, it's going to be a lot of rain for many of you across the southeast.
Yes. As we take a look at these conditions, a lot of changes that have happened over the last 24 hours. Fox Weather storm specialist Mike Seidel is actually in Jacksonville Beach sort of looking at these conditions. But, Mike, we got visible satellite now, and I got to tell you, it's looking more impressive on satellite this morning than it has at all.
It looks very impressive, and it's going to be really interesting to see what kind of data we get in this afternoon from the Hurricane Hunter aircraft. They're leaving Biloxi middle of the day. They'll be out there mid-afternoon, and they'll start to let us know what they find. The key is, do they find a closed circulation? So that's really the key. If they don't have a closed circulation, we don't have any kind of depression, whether it's tropical or subtropical. If it sticks on the front, it'll stay subtropical. And the offshoot is, once it comes in, and that's the expectations over the weekend, somewhere along into the north will get the most rainfall. And that is primarily going to be the only impact, except it louses up your beach weather, of course. But wind and surge really not on the table. We may get some wind gust 30, maybe a gust to 40 in one of those gnarly squalls, but it's just kind of an exercise to be prepared as we are now into the hurricane season, although early on. And remember, the average first hurricane in the Atlantic Basin doesn't typically happen until the second week of August. Out here, it couldn't be any nicer. For July 4th, I've got my July 4th lay on. Who needs to go all the way to Hawaii to get this kind of material and this kind of activewear on the beach? Here's the surf. The sun is up, beating down. Water temp, hey, it's 79 on this side of the coast. Remember, the past couple of days at Clearwater Beach, our water temperature was 86 to 87. Also, a big difference in the tidal range. Tide is going to be low here about 10 a.m. rather this morning, so in about another hour. And then the high tide will come in around 4:30 this afternoon. But look how far it goes out here. Gulf Coast tidal ranges are much smaller. Wave action out there, about 3-footers. We've seen some surfers. In fact, Lloyd, if you can spin around in the distance there and kind of the mist, you can see some surfers out there trying to catch a wave and hang some 10. I don't know, they're going to hang 10 or not, but they're out there trying. They're having a good time on this beautiful July 4th. So Britta and Craig, just keeping an eye on the Atlantic off the southeast coast. Meanwhile, here we don't expect any storms today. Increasing chances we'll see more of those summertime thunderstorms over the next couple of days here along the northern coast of Florida.
All eyes are on it.
Yeah.
And of course, just the beginning of hurricane season, so plenty of time to watch, but a good opportunity to keep the conversation going. This time that you want to have those conversations with your family.
Exactly. Be prepared.
Absolutely.
Be prepared. As we say, it only takes one, and there are a lot of folks on edge, not only on the Gulf Coast, but think about the poor folks in the Carolinas, especially in western North Carolina with the lean. So we just don't want to see any of that this year. Hopefully everything stays offshore, and if something comes onshore like this system, it's weak in nature, and it doesn't do much but give the area some rain. Keep our fingers crossed. We'll be on the road. We'll keep you updated from the road, and we'll be live through the weekend to show you the impacts and the pictures, the visuals from whatever we end up with on the southeast coast.
Yeah, we'll track you all the way through the Carolinas, Mike. Safe travels.
Jacksonville Beach. Mike, it's great to see you, first of all. And you've been down there in Clearwater Beach all week, and are things feeling a little bit different now?
Not much different as far as the weather. And I got to say, Kathy, I just heard that you were going to toss to me, and I've known Kathy since like 1960. No, not quite that long, but we have known.
Stephen, don't believe him.
We've known each other we've known each other forever, and it's so good to hear your voice. And I don't think I've seen you since, I don't know, the 90s or 2000s. But anyway, nice to have you in New York with us out here on the beach. Much the same as we had over the past couple of days at Clearwater. No rain at this point. We don't expect any rain today at Jax Beach. The tide is low right now, just low officially just before 10 a.m. But look at this nice wide beach for the 4th. And we got folks in the water out there. We got a few surfers and boogie boarders with these, maybe a 3-footer out there. Water temp is cooler on this side of the Florida coast. It was 86, 87 at Clearwater Beach. Kathy, and the water temp here is 79. Now let's talk about what we're watching. And boy, the thing has really, this blob of thunderstorms has really lit up through the early morning and morning hours. And I looked at it this morning and went, whoa, look at this. But, you know, you got to get the Hurricane Hunter aircraft out there. They'll be out there about 2, 3 o'clock Eastern time to see if we have a closed circulation. If we don't, then we don't have a depression or a subtropical depression. And it also may be tangled up on this old boundary, this old front. Bottom line is here today, no issues. There'll be some thunderstorms around maybe tonight and tomorrow, certainly down around Orlando. The rest of the state is fair game for some storms and not an all-day washout really anywhere in the Sunshine State. Certainly the Panhandle here will have the driest weather. But then tomorrow, we watch to see whatever we have head towards the coast. Right now, we think it's going to go onshore tomorrow night or Sunday. Whether it's a depression, even a weak tropical storm, or not anything except a big blob of rain, the impacts remain the same. The heavy rainfall, primarily north of where the center or the lowest pressure goes in. So some areas could get 3, 4 inches of rainfall, not out of the question. And that will impact your beach weather primarily on a Sunday, Monday basis from the Carolinas north. Tomorrow, looking at the latest HER model run, the 12Z, the 8 a.m. Eastern run, there's not a whole lot of rain forecast to move onshore tomorrow during prime beach time. With that said, Kathy will be heading north up I-95, not as far as Philadelphia or New York, but up to South Carolina through the morning and afternoon hours. We'll keep you updated from the road, not only on the weather and what's happening with the hurricane hunters and the Hurricane Center, but also on traffic on I-95, which, as you know, is a major north-south route. But again, so good to hear your voice here in my ear this morning at Jax Beach.
It's so great to see you, and you haven't aged a day. And 60s, come on, we weren't even born yet.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
I was. I'm going to be 70 coming up next year. So speak for yourself. You're a youngster.
I don't believe it.
I'm an old guy.
No one covers the storms like Mike.
I'm an old guy.
I agree. I agree.
Thank you so much. Oh, thank you. You're so kind. Okay, Kathy, enjoy your stay in New York City. We'll be back with you in an hour.
All right, great to see you. We'll see you then.
More than 25,000 live shots that man has had.
Amazing.
Not surprised by it.
and we're keeping an eye to see if there's going to be more wet weather. Our Fox Weather Storm Specialist Mike Seidel joins us live from the Fox Weather Beast. I love the Beast. It's always fun to be traveling that, Mike. You are safe in that Beast.
I like the lei that he has on.
Yeah, you look great, by the way, as well.
Oh, thank you, my fellow Fox Weather meteorologist. Hey, you know, this is the first time I've done a live shot in the Beast, and I've been with Fox Weather for about a year now, so it's pretty exciting. What we're doing is we're heading now through Jacksonville. We were at Jack's Beach earlier. We're heading up towards South Carolina, and that reason being is because we think the impacts from whatever develops, if it does develop, will be somewhere in the Carolina area, the Carolina beaches. So we've got about a 4+ hour drive, and along the way we'll be checking out traffic on the lovely Interstate 95, and we'll also keep you updated on what's coming out of the Hurricane Center, because the hurricane hunters will be in here over the next couple of hours into that area of storms off the coast. As you can see, traffic not too bad right now as we show you at the stoplight here in Withrow and Atlantic Boulevard. I know the excitement is palpable, but back to the seriousness of the weather and the situation. Whether we have a depression or not, we're going to have rainfall, and that will be the major and really the only significant impact of this system on the beaches of the Carolinas. And that will start sometime tomorrow, late tomorrow and tomorrow night. In fact, the latest HRRR model, the high rapid resolution refresh model, forecasting very little rain on the beaches of the Carolinas during prime beach time tomorrow. Now, that could change. The only thing right now, if we look at the current local radar, there is a band way off from the big blob of thunderstorms that has been kind of scratching along the South Carolina and Georgia coast. Earlier, we had a marine warning for potential water spouts. That has now dropped. But you can see those storms off Hilton Head, off Savannah, off Tybee. Right now, the beaches look great, much like we saw this morning in Jacksonville Beach. Back on the highway now and traffic moving. We'll get on I-95 and pick up the pace, Kathy and Stephen, and get into South Carolina as we await the latest from the Hurricane Center and the Hurricane Hunters. The next update, at least 2 p.m., what we have learned that they did not issue any kind of PTC watchers or warnings at 11 o'clock Eastern. That would have been the time to do it. So I think they're just waiting to see what the Hurricane Hunters find this afternoon out there in the Atlantic.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have time. Fox Weather Storm Specialist Mike Seidel, we'll see you soon. Thank you.
Nice, 25,000 live shots, the first from the Fox Weather Weather Beast.
Awesome.
We'll take it.
Wow, happy to be here on this special day, Mike.
That's right. The maiden voyage, I guess we'll call it,
The
right?
Beast.
Yeah. All right. There's another big story that we're following, too.